Okay. So guys, last time we were doing the guy got away, Megadel got away. It was obviously it's him. He's what's he doing? What's that called? Oh yeah, sure. What's that called? Fake evidence. He's implanting fake evidence. And oh yeah, the carriage got on fire. Yeah, someone set the carriage on fire. The clouded kokoro. I begin to think Watson, said Holmes, turning his head languidly in my direction, that there is more to this case than we observed. Indeed, that there may be another part to the story that we have yet to discover. His eyes wandered, following the steam rising from the cup of his Tisani. Whoa! The memory of that snowy evening in his mind. To the young lady collapsed on a path along Brihal Road, and to the knife in her back? Lit in the soft glow of gas lamps, a most extraordinary scene has been set. And under the cover of a light fog, the curtains has risen silently on an absolutely mystery of our invisible killer. Am I gonna catch Jack the Ripper, Diggy?
Do you think someone here is Jack the Ripper?
Maybe. Because there was a woman who was stabbed in the back. Everybody team or justice. Naruhodo, did you manage to sleep last night? No, not at all. My, though that hotel was rather luxurious. Is that the right word? Luxurious? Is it luxurious or luxurious?
The first time you said it was correct.
Luxurious?
Luxurious.
The room could have been mistaken for a palace. It was nothing short of dazzling. The gas lights were as countless as glittering stars, making the night shine brighter than day. Wow, imagine just how much of that bed was worth. I tossed and I turned on night just to make sure I used the full size of it. So did I. It was a night of my dreams. Except, when I learned that lodging cost £3, I realized my nightmare had only just begun. What? Sorry. The building was so overwhelmingly beautiful I just wandered in before I could regain control. Back in Japan, we could have used that same amount for over a year of safe shelter. Oh my god, that's a lot of money. When I parted with our dear money, my tears just wouldn't stop flowing. Oh my god, she's like... She's me. That's literally me. Really. I'm so sorry. Anyways, we have to find cheap lodging as soon as possible. If we can't do that in 10 days, we're sure to run out of our student's allowance. London is a formidable foe. Thank you for coming in so early. Oh, likewise, sir. He's a bad guy. Good morning, Lord Chief Justice Vortex. Yeah, he's definitely a bad guy. Because if you think about it, if the court system is corrupted and this guy's standing at the top of it, he's the bad guy. We have just arrived today to report on yesterday's trial. Susanoo can talk to him without flinching. Her composure is really something else. I trust that you enjoyed your first taste of the great British trials. Yes, sir. In fact, I tasted so much law that I'm downright full of it. Thus, he has done exactly as you ordered, Lord Chief Justice. Ryunosuke Naruhodo has carried out his duty to completion. Oh, I see. I have already heard about the events of yesterday's trials. Your defense was remarkable. You pass. Huh? Exchange student from the Empire of Japan. You will now be recognized as an attorney, even for our country. Meeting such promising youth from the Far East is a tremendous delight. Thank you, sir. Now that I'm an attorney, and I've prepared a new assignment to test your skills as a fresh, young attorney. A supple, young, fresh attorney. You should get started immediately. Now kiss my cheek. I still remember that. It was like 2 days ago. A new assignment already? As an attorney, the best way to develop your skills is through experience. I dare not ask, but do you object to your assignment? Naruhodo. Oh wait, I don't know how to say to this, but I'm still not satisfied with yesterday's verdict. You're not satisfied? As I recall, you want a non-guilty verdict. What more could you possibly want? A kiss? Perhaps you kissing me? As of yet, the court cannot pass a guilty verdict. Therefore, there is no need to leave the verdict to the jurors. Yeah, today has been quite rough, Prosecutor Van Zeeks? For you and for my esteemed barrister as well. Tee! Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. Oh god, look at him. He looks like Mr. Penguin from Batman!
Who does?
Constantine Megadol. Was he truly innocent? Naruhodo. I still can't say for sure, but despite that, the trial is already over. You won't have to worry about that anymore, I can assure you. Huh? Whatever do you mean? He's dead. Oh shit, he's dead! Constantine Megadol is dead. He died just after the end of the trial. What? Mr. Megadol is probably dead. I must depart in 19 minutes and 41 seconds. Until then, I am able to talk, but but for a while. Dude, why did he die?
He's worth.
Yeah. What do you mean he's dead? How did he die? At the end of yesterday's trial, chaos erupted in the courtroom. I assume you recall the omnibus that was brought into court. Yeah, it was brought into to be examined as the scene of the crime. That's right. At some point, when the bailiffs weren't looking, it suddenly went up in flames. What? How could they just let this happen? We are currently investigating that matter. Furthermore, we discovered Megadol's corpse among the coach's burnt remains. What? He must have entered the coach while the bailiffs weren't looking. The bailiffs sounds like awful slackers. How could they just let this happen? We're currently investigating that as well. That reminds me of something. At the end of the trial, Mr. Megadol said something that bothers me. Well, you've heard the man. I must excuse myself now. I will be stuck inspecting the crime for a while, I'm told. Zelda, what are you doing here? What for? It seems that the omnibus will have to undergo some investigation given the circumstances. They said that they want me to be present for it all, if possible. Inspect the crime scene, Scotland Yard had no such arrangements made to my knowledge. Then who did this? I wouldn't worry. The Yard is putting all their investigations battle to the test here. You can leave the rest to them. There's no need for either of you to pay it any mind. Mr. Megadol. British trials. By the way, how was your first trial in court? Cons court. Oh, amazing. We were overwhelmed by its noble air and dignity born from its vulnerable, profound history. Our own country's Supreme Court is no match, as they've only been around for decades at best. Susato really has a way with words when it comes to when it's time to be eloquent. My friend Naruhodo is so impressed that he's been rendered speechless, as you can see. Wow, she is really good with that. Our courts are the pinnacle of law. You would do well to learn while you still can. The pinnacle, he says. I don't know how I feel about that. I have to say, though, it was some stroke of fortune that you could take a simple case for your first trial here. Simple? My lord? As I said yesterday, there's no way you could have lost. What? Excuse my rudeness, my lord, but that case was by no means simple. When we first heard the details of the case, we felt like we were at such a disadvantage. Even now, I still can't believe that we managed to seize a non-guilty verdict. What's the matter? I'm sorry, excuse me for that. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. The verdict was indeed not guilty, and it was because of your skill as an attorney. You'd say that all there is to it, right? No, my lord, that's not exactly what I was trying to say. Regardless, you have exceeded my expectations. I assure you that is nothing but the truth. And that is why I've already arranged a new case for you. What? Exactly what the Chief Justice Vortex trying to imply just now. Oh, see, he already sounds like a bad guy. What exactly does this new case entail? Don't tell me it's another murder trial or that's gonna start in 10 minutes or something. Please, there's no need to worry. The circumstances surrounding this trial are completely different after all. I see. Is he reading my mind? At the very least, nobody has died yet. What? What do you mean nobody's died yet? And the trial is not today either. You have ample time to carry out your investigation. To be precise, you have 23 hours and 43 minutes and 19, 18, 17. So okay, the trial's tomorrow then. I get it. Is something the matter, Naruhodo? Oh, I was just feeling a little conflicted. I was wondering, I made the right decision as his attorney during yesterday's trial. Naruhodo, I'm not sure if I'm ready to stand in court again with the way I feel right now. Oh, that reminds me, there is actually one similarity between yesterday and tomorrow. What? Is it again a coach? Once again, not a single man is willing to step up to the challenge. What? At this rate, tomorrow's trial will be forced to begin without a defense attorney present. And of course, I'm sure you know, there's nothing at the end of that path except for the worst possible conclusion. Well, that sounds about right. Not again. I'm afraid my time is up. I must excuse myself. I strongly suggest that you two begin preparing for tomorrow immediately. After all, there is a mere 23 hours and 26 minutes and 39 seconds left until the trial. You call it ample time not long ago. Oh, one more thing, Master Naruhodo. There is one thing I would like to inquire you about. As I recall, yesterday you said thus. You wish to carry on the exchange to Kazuma Asugi's will. I want you to clearly explain what you meant by that. You have 34 seconds. Huh? He always talked about how he wanted to study the New World leading justice system and change the law of the Empire of Japan. I'm gonna keep his dream alive, though there's another reason. Oh? And what might this other reason be? In the steamship's cabin, he said something cryptic to me. There's something I absolutely have to do in Britain no matter what. What did he mean? What did he absolutely have to do again? I want you to tell me more in clear terms. I didn't ask him. I was sure that he would tell me when we arrived in Great Britain, so time's up. I'm grateful that you told me such an entertaining story, though. What exactly are we talking about just now, Naruhodo? Kazuma never told me anything like that. The two of you ought to focus on the case at hand. You've already spoken to the inspector leading the investigation. I presume he will give you the details if you ask. How did you get here? Now, I pray for your good fortune. Dun 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 dun. Just throwing us in, dude. Secret was Kazuma keeping from me. What was he planning to do? I don't know.
She in a relationship with him? What the fuck?
Me.
She was like, oh, Kazuma, what's he keeping
she
from me?
wanted his Kazu dick, yo.
I guess
anyway,
so.
We must speak with the inspector now. She wanted to be the shaft of his sword. Yes, we gotta just do that. Is this the wolf guy? Sheep gang or wolf gang? The detective? Is he holding? What is he holding? Fries?
No, I think he's holding a pipe.
It looks like a.
That makes sense, wouldn't it? If it was
nope,
a pipe?
it was fries. It's a potato. Excuse me, can I have a moment of your? Do I look like I got any spare time? Whoa! Nice weather we're having, huh? Do the weather look nice to you? Whoa! Listen up real good. You don't go around thinking that any old Britain gem is excited to talk about the weather. Huh? But that's what Sasato told me. I'm busy right now.
You shouldn't talk
investigation is still, and I wanted to proceed. I'm very sorry. It's good potatoes.
Sorry, what?
Oh yeah, I'm willing to bet they're saying all the kind of things behind my back right now. Oi, where that guy's been? Who knows? He sure acts like a big shot. He must be slacking. Or thanks to some bloody foreign pumpkin who's come to London to just frolic and have fun.
Talk about a chip on his shoulder.
Hear the songs of my crews to see failing, because I certainly can. Oh, greetings, sir. I believe we haven't met. My friend here is Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a defense attorney. I am his legal assistant. We're both deeply pleased to make your acquaintance today. Oh! I must say, the weather truly is beautiful today. Wow. She calmed his ass down. Absolutely. It aren't often that you get to see the clear sky in such a London weather. Amazingly done, Susato. Lord Vortex asked me to give you lots of details on this case. My name's Tobias Gearson, Scotland Yard. Inspector Gearson? Huh? Seems got quite a reaction out of her. I wonder if she knows him from somewhere. It's probably really popular. Inspector? Might you be the same Inspector Gearson as the Inspector Gearson?
Oh.
Potatoes. Susano, do you know this man, even though I don't? Of course I do. Who wouldn't? I guess I wouldn't? He is a recurring character in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, you're talking about the Stan magazine again. Inspector Gearson is none other than Sherlock Holmes' rival. Wow, his rival? That's pretty impressive. Well, yes, I suppose so. I have yet to say that Holmes does pretty well for himself, for an amateur. Mr. Holmes has spoken very high praise of Inspector Gearson as well. Gearson is the smartest of the Scotland Yarders. He is the pick of a bat lot, he says. That doesn't sound like much of a compliment to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just said you're all shitty, but you're the best out of the shittiest one. Well, Mr. Holmes, this isn't the type of person to sing praises of others in the first place. That's right, because of the blasted magazines, I've become famous all over the world. That's a good thing, right? I'll admit, it wasn't so bad at first. Even if I want to shake my hand and get the reputation at the yard was an all-time high. Sounds great. However, you must never underestimate how terrifying a man could be. Since then, I had my feelings that people were staring at me talking behind my back. Talk
about a chip, dude.
Yeah. You had a feeling? He's changed ever since he appeared in those novels. Look at him, acting like a big shot. Have people really been saying such awful things? Like I said, they don't do it behind my back. Oh, they do it behind my back, so I can't really make out what they're saying. However, that's the feeling I get. There's no doubt about it. I feel like this inspector's gonna be difficult to work with. Yes, it does seem a sudden fame becomes his own share of troubles. The incident! So, what's the case on the Lord and Chief Justice Vortex wanted? Well, if I was to put it simply, this is probably the easiest case that a detective could possibly work with. Then, are you saying that this is probably the most difficult case that a defense attorney could work with? Do a backflip? No, Zoc. I sure hope not. It definitely looks that way, though. A lady walking into a barn row was stabbed in the back with a knife. Fortunately, her life isn't in danger now, but she still remains unconscious at the hospital. Oh, so it was attempted murder. My, that's terrible. Who'd stab a frail woman in the back like that? I wish he says frail woman, but he's like buff. And the reason why she didn't die is because the muscles couldn't pierce, the knife couldn't pierce through her muscle.
Oh.
I'm sure you just performed some saddle toss on them if they ever found you. That's not important right now. You didn't have to yell. Anyways, we were able to arrest the culprit without wasting much time in this case. He didn't even have the time to enjoy an after-crime tea before we took him in. You must have found some traces of the culprit at the crime scene, right? Or maybe there's an especially trustworthy witness testimony? Ha! Give it up. It's not worth racking your brains over, huh? No matter how you might try, there's no saving the culprit from his fate this time. What do you mean? It's simple. The prosecutor in charge of tomorrow's trial is none other than Lord Baron von Zieks. What? It seems like you already know him. And that's why he doesn't want to take. No one wants to take the case, huh? Yes, we are quite familiar with them. He's the one referred to as the Grim Reaper. The Reaper of the Old Bailey. Yes, we know. Are we really gonna have to talk about this guy again? So up against Baron von Zieks again, huh? Same prosecutor yesterday. If I recall correctly, Mr. Megadel said... For those he's prosecuted, they say the Reaper has come to collect his due. In the court of the Deathbringer, not a single defendant has lived. What if he killed Megundal? Because he was like, it's not over. It is not over. I am the Grim Reaper.
I was thinking, what if he just kind of wrongfully incriminated himself? Or what if he actually fucking did it?
Yeah, you managed to go through the prosecutors. Inspector, that's what you're truly trying to tell us. What if... Water! Water! Oh, I don't have any water, fuck. It's a Reaper! Is that so? Well, what of it? I mean, if the enemy is the Reaper himself, there's still a chance the defendant may survive. You two really don't know a thing. What exactly do you mean then? Well, he ended up dying anyways, didn't he? Huh? I'm talking about Konstantin Megudal. He was burnt up along with the carriage, no? No matter how you look at it, it's hard to call that surviving. What? If a man could prove every criminal's guilt, he'd be considered a god. But Baron von Zieks? He's no god. He's the Grim Reaper. Are you telling me even if someone's free, they die because no, they die after that trial? In any case, you do keep that in mind. What's going on here? Now that Sister's finished eating what I've eaten, I've said what I have to say. I'll return to the crime scene. We're in the middle of an investigation after all. The site of the incident is the Bria? Is it Bria?
I don't know.
Bria Road. Would I be correct in saying that? That's right. If you head towards the Gao.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. If you head towards the Gao, you should be able to interview the criminal. You're already calling him the culprit? He's shaking like a leaf in the isolation center. It's a hilarious sight, I tell you. His number is 53. If you ask the guard for 53, you should be able to interview him. Thank you. No defense can ever be saved from the Grim Reaper. Is that true? Naruhodo, what do you think we should do about this case? To be honest, I'm gonna stop stand in the Crown Court again. Yeah. It still takes courage to admit when a task is too much for you. You don't have to do this. But I have to, because it's a video game. If that man arrested is innocent, then it's only natural that he'd be shaken like a leaf in that cell. I can't imagine the kind of monster that would just stand there and laugh at such a sight. Then, to be honest, I can still feel the intense shock from yesterday's trial. I don't know how much I could do, but I think we should have a go in an investigation. Will you assist me? Of course, you know I get going. After all, I'm your legal assistant. Then shall we? Alright, let's do this. Yatta! Guess we gotta go to the Gao. The goal?
Let's do it.
Whoa, what a prison cell. The glass is so dirty. My glasses is dirty. So this is the goal. How might I say this? This certainly is an impeccable prison, isn't it? Well, speaking as a man who was locked up in one of the Japanese jails, I think even our simple Japanese jails were far more comfortable than this. How heartbreaking. I've been told that the client is in the cell, but it's too dark to see further inside. What sort of person could he be? Why is my eye? What is wrong with my eye? It's not hurting, but it's like cloudy.
Put your finger in it. Wiggle it around.
Lick my eyeball. Sorry, what?
Do it. Puss.
Oh, let me breathe. Oh, the food. Alright. Number 52. The attorney is here to interview you. Stop hiding in the corner and come out.
I can't believe
I have a name. To call me by a number is outrageous. I refuse to grace you with the reply. Excuse me, Naruhodo? Do you understand what's going on here? Your guess is as good as mine. Those bitter words are definitely in Japanese, though. Oh! What's this guy?
Watson? Maybe? I don't know.
Is this...
No, probably not.
Would they make Watson Japanese? Shh! Be quiet. It must be hiding somewhere. None can hide from my eyes. Surely right now, right this instant, too. It's looking at me, listening to me. I can feel it.
Oh no, he's crazy.
Well, let's try this again. Who are you? Everyone. Damnable spirit that caused my very life. What's up, Kevin? Spirit?
Hey, Ken.
I don't like this guy. This guy's freaking out, dude. He's like, do pardon me, but might you be Japanese? Ah, nani desu ka? Nani desu ka? Watashi wa doko desu? Oh, Kami-sama! This is... Heavens above! Bless me! I do sincerely apologize for that loss of composure earlier. Don't worry about it. It did surprise me a little though. However, a year has passed since I left. To think that such a situation should transpire in such a far-off land. The words of my fellow brethren penetrate my heart upon our meeting in the depths of hell. Oh, flood of the emotions! Oh wow, this guy is extra. Our next client, Lord Chief Justice Vortex, spoke of. I can't believe that's a Japanese person. Ah, my gratitude of the motherland. After all, home is where the heart is. For the sake of one mere exchange student, she dispatched one first-rate attorney. Praise the motherland! Wow, he is posing. A first-rate attorney? Looks like there's a huge misunderstanding here. In any case, would you be willing to tell us your story, good sir? For example, we'd like to know about your arrest as a suspect. I, of course, with pleasure. Jumping for joy! I don't like this guy. I may be defending him, but I don't like this guy. I don't quite seem to understand what he's saying, but he seems happy. Yes, he does. Let's just hope his trace isn't misplaced. I'm pleased to meet your acquaintance. I am Inusuke Naruhodo, an attorney. As for me, I am Susato Mikotoba, his legal assistant. I am an exchange student. Wait, what? I am an exchange student sent from Great Britain from the Empire of Japan. Susiki Natsume is my name. He's do you think? Quite the old guy. What I think.
Oh, nothing.
Satsuki Natsume, was it? It's an interesting name. Well, you see, I'm quite fond of writing haikus. You can think of it as a pen name, I suppose. A pen name, huh? So that's where you take on a different name for an author's work, right? Yes, it's generally the case. That is not as all to it. There is a kind of refined elegance to the title. In any case, I have to say that hearing about haikus make me feel like I'm back in Japan. That reminds me, earlier you said you were an exchange student, correct? Yes, the Japanese government sent me here 1 year ago to study the English language. I had no choice but to comply, but look at the situation it's put me in. They've ruined me! You had no choice? You mean you didn't want to participate in the exchange? That is not quite true. Oh, that was bad. Oh yeah, that was a really bad burp. I almost threw up.
Yeah.
That is not quite true. I always wanted to visit the British Empire. However, it was a ridiculous demand to begin with, and what's even more, it's coming from the government. What exactly do you mean? Asking me to study English literature would be at least within the realms of my field, but to study the English language, I have not even the idea where to start. Simply absurd! In fact, the other day I received a directive asking me to report my progress for this year, because their sheer nerve estimated the blank sheet of response. That will show them. I don't think it's gonna go well. It must be rather an important person to be able to do that. Ah, yes. People often telling me that. He seems so proud. What is Miku always... What's wrong with her? So, it's kind of suspicious you were under arrest for. I had no run in it. I would never been able to commit such an atrocity, act as murder. Murder? Oh, that's right, she didn't actually die. She was stabbed, but with a dagger, right in front of me. Right in front of you? That means you saw the culprit? I did not. Huh? If I did, I would not be in such a predicament right now. Maybe it was like an assassination. That means the situation here isn't simple. Of all places, why did she have to go out of her way getting stabbed right in front of me? That's right. It all must be due to the curse of these London spirits. Oh, you damn pest. Is Zero?
So he thinks he's haunted?
Maybe. So despite him being present at the time, he didn't see the culprit. Maybe someone threw a knife. In any case, we should ask him for more details on the incident. It had just stopped snowing. The streets were cursed that night should be shrouded by fog. I was making my way back to the cursed flaps after making my cursed purchase at the bookstore. Good morning, because wow, it's 8:31. Wow, good morning. Good morning, Zero. Looks like he was cursed in all sorts of ways. There was but one individual walking in front of me that cursed road. She was wearing a green overcoat, and when I thought of passing by her, it happened. Short crying collapsed on the cold ground. She had books on her too. How terrible. I begged her to speak, but she wouldn't open her mouth to respond. The scent of death. But she isn't dead. Terrified, I seized the first opportunity to flee from the cursed scene. At full speed, I knew back to my cursed flat. That might not have been much your best decision as a Japanese man. I should have probably been ashamed for what I had done. By the way, did you happen to know the victim at all? Not in the slightest. I am not acquainted with any blonde prince, let alone a young woman. It seemed you failed to understand just how much I managed to keep myself cooped up in my flat. I see, so the victim was a young woman. By the way, besides the two of you, was there anyone else who walked along the footpath? Unfortunately, I did not catch a single sight of anyone other than that woman. What? No one was there? The victim was a complete stranger, and there was no one else present. If that's the case, this is quite curious, huh? What about it? What about it's curious? Sato, what do you mean by quite curious? There's just something about Soseki's stories that doesn't just add up. The victim was a complete stranger to him, and no one else at the scene. Furthermore, he ran away from the scene so nobody would see him. Indeed. But if that's the case, that means Soseki might be the culprit. No! What did you just say? Nothing, I didn't say anything. I should have learned to keep my mouth shut. Oh god, look at this man, he is panicking.
This poor man.
It's not quite what I was getting at. I was curious about how exactly Soseki managed to get arrested. Huh? Soseki may have no contact with the victim, so there was no one else around at the scene. Just look at how Scotland Yard tracked him down. Oh, she's right. We're gonna learn something? It was him! Thanks to that man's cursed great deductions. I ended up getting arrested. I must have suffered the shame. Cursed great deduction? Oh, no way. I remember that man's name until the day I die. He called himself a great detective. Laughed an unforgettable, obnoxious laugh. Begone, cursed soul! The Sherlock Holmes will curse you until the day you die.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes is making his appearance. Mr. Holmes? Should be that food pretty hard.
Being Sherlock Holmes.
Did he have a G Fuel that's open right now? Never would guess that was his name. Yeah, I'm actually like getting real tired. I don't know why.
Go ahead and open a Sonic one.
Alright. I'm actually on. Why?
Don't drink too much of it. You're gonna get sick. And you'll be up all night.
peach rings, huh? It tastes like peach.
Nice.
Tastes like the candy
And I
peach
got
rings
what I
melted
paid
down.
for.
Ugh. Guess I should eat more food later after I'm done with this. After I escaped that nightmare scene, one cursed night passed. While I gnawed on my hard French bread, several men stormed into my room. "We're from the yard! Drop that weapon this instant!" No matter how hard it may have been. Who would call a French bread a weapon? Spartan lifestyle! I don't like this guy's archetype. You had quite a rough time, didn't you? He's awkward. And he stood there, in the middle of all of these detectives with that blindly wide grin. Make sure you eat something too. Yeah, I ate porridge before I started streaming. And then I started getting real sleepy. Like I was already yawning and stuff, which is a pretty bad sign. Like mentally I'm not tired, but physically I'm tired as shit. But I ate. No, I got this G Fuel. I'm sipping it.
Eat while you eat it though, because
Really?
while you drink it though, because it's gonna.
Oh, well,
Yeah, some people get heart attacks. Also, do a couple of squats while you can.
Oh, yeah.
Exert that energy.
His name was none other than the Sherlock Holmes. I'm awake. Welcome, Awake Z.
Good morning.
You know,
Z.
I don't actually think the is his full name.
The.
Afterwards, I learned that he's a great detective in London. I suppose that's where the great and great detective comes from. With his all too clever deductions, he managed to pinpoint where I live. Then he had the nerve to accuse me, a frail hunchback man, as a knife-wielding maniac. What kind of amazing great deduction he came up with this time. I must ask though, were you arrested solely due to Mr. Holox's great deduction? Even they would have been too heavy-handed for that lot. Well, to be honest, when they stormed into my house this morning, the confusion took me. Why, of course, it's only natural. They interrogated me with their fast, difficult English words. I stood and trembled. Cowardly Brits! Well, this is the British Empire, after all. Of course they speak English. Drink some of that G Fuel? I'm drinking a V. I panicked, but I had to respond to their verbal abuse. So someone responded with, "Yes, I do, and I'm fine." Again and again. Oh. Before I realized it, I had been handcuffed and thrown in here. Well, I would have probably thrown you in jail too, idiot. Oh, what a guy. So he kind of put himself in this by accidentally confessing. Master Naruhodo! Ah, just Naruhodo is fine. Oh, excuse me. It seems I've been taken over by British culture. I am to understand that you accept my case and defend me. Is it true? It's too good to be true. Is it permissible for me to believe it as the truth? Well... Why? Has cat got your tongue? Really, I'm just an exchange student. I'm the same as you, Soseki. You're an exchange student? I've stood as an attorney in the British courts once, but what am I supposed to believe in? What guides my struggle to these foreign courts? I haven't come to understand that yet.
Drink water with it.
Oh, water? Oh, can you give me some water then? Here. Clean it. Oh, thank you. Water. Naruhodo. And even worse, I'm not a proper law student in the first place. I'm a substitute at best. That other man, that is proof that you are a Japanese attorney, no? This is a memento of the man I'm imitating. He was my best friend. Memento? I am well aware of what they all say about me. What do you mean? What do you mean they? None of those Brits attorney cared to defend me. Why not? You too were right. The footpath where the crime occurred was empty, safe for the victim and myself. Even worse, I fled the scene. I can't help but think that I must be the culprit. I must know that. Soseki! I am an exchange student. I am nothing but a suspicious foreigner to this great British Empire. A trial for him, what a waste of time! Undoubtedly, that horrible person did the deed! Sansky! He said a racist word. All these attorneys who stood before me laughed at me as if it was a cruel joke. He wouldn't understand half of what we said, anyhow, but I knew. That's awful. I studied English more frequently than ever than those scruffy big city policemen. I crossed the very seas to show my reverse and my desire to learn this enduring language. But ne'er a soul was willing to lend an ear to a poor, hunchback foreigner. At the least, I would be overjoyed to entrust my fate to a fellow countryman, one who knows my plight. Yet I dare not thrust it upon you, forcing you to bear an unbearable burden. When I look into your eyes, I can see that many burdens you have already placed on yourself. Soseki. I need some time to think about this. First, I'll try to do whatever I can right now. What does that entail? We intend to investigate this incident in intense detail from this moment forward. We hope to find some sort of lead, and use it to help you in some way. Oh, very well. I'll be waiting for you, substitute law student Naruhodo. Let's proceed with our investigation, Naruhodo. Game is afoot. Alright. This is where the crime scene happened. Whoa! Oh, wow. 19, huh? You know what I wish we had? I wish we had desserts. I wish we had like coffee cake, like bready sweets.
That'd be really good. But you do have chocolate?
Yeah, but that's not bready sweets though. But chocolate would help. Chocolate technically helps you when you're tired. They say. The sugar.
If you can't, don't force yourself to drink all the G Fuel. If you can't drink it,
I'm just sipping it. It's really good. I'm just sipping it.
Yeah.
So this is Berry Rose Cream of the Sign. Ah, take a look over there, Naruhodo. Oh, I'm gonna wipe off this evidence. Oh, I'm gonna clean the evidence. Oh, dude, check out this yellow snow, man. Oh yeah, bro. I've recognized these uniforms anywhere. There's no mistaking that helmet-like cap. It's Scotland Yard. The yard policemen are conducting their investigation. Well, yeah, but that's not what policemen do. Oh, yeah, that's what policemen do. Yeah. Of course, they're the Scotland Yard, you know. I've admired them since I saw an illustration of them in Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Yes, I do love those steel helmets. Huh? You really care about their helmets? Oh? If I can only don that helmet, would you want to try it on? I hope you can experience that cold metal. Turtles. Oh,
it's him.
What are you doing over there, Japanese children? Oh, it's Inspector Garrison. You should be vaguely aware by now that... What was the voice I was doing? You should be you should be vaguely aware by now that you've not even seen a sightseeing trip here. Well, we know. We are investigating the crime scene. Oh? So it looks like you went through the gao. It must mean you met the culprit. He's not the culprit. He's only a suspect. I suppose you're just trying to help out a fellow Jap, eh? Shit, I said it. Well, you're free to do as you like. It's not my problem. You won't be able to change the result of tomorrow's trial anyway. Ugh. It's like you're trying to freeze a solid with this cold aloofiness. I'm sure you can blame London's freezing cold winter for that feeling. I don't think that's right. Alright, what's poppin', bro? What's poppin' lockin'? Scotland Yard. Ever since I laid eye on the illustration of Mr. Holmes' novel, I've dreamed of visiting it. Scotland Yard is the world's most capable police force. It's been a lifelong dream of mine to wear one of those iron helmets. Even I have to admit when I see a guard wearing one of those helmets, can't help but feel like the image practically screams, "This city is under my protection!" Oh, and absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Well, Scotland Yard's actually more labor-intensive than it looks. Is that really true? Take an early morning, for example. First, our constable had to run around the city, waking up all the workers. What? Everyone in the city? They knock on people's windows with a long rod. I had to do it too, a long time ago. They really do that back then?
Weird. I guess so. Strange.
Yeah, so like everyone had an alarm clock. Like a person would come up and be an alarm clock. It's weird. All of our natural work for London citizens, only natural. After that, our constables start patrolling their beats, as they no breaks until the day's done. Wow. There's even a quota of how long they have to walk. 20 miles a day. Damn, dude, that's a lot. I have no idea how long that really is, but imagine it's quite the distance. Let's see, according to Japanese measurements, that's 8 kimonos long. Just kidding. It would be about the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama if you were to walk on a foot. It's like that kind of trek would make me feel more like a wreck. Once it's dark, another important job is to light all the gas lamps. Oh shit, it's crazy. My. And between all that, you have to investigate the odd case at once in a while, right? Not to mention they occasionally have to chase down lawbreakers. I'm not sure I like how you're making those duties sound like side jobs. Anyways, that's how it is. Man, you know, those potatoes look so good on them right now. Some of our men has even collapsed during their shifts. It is a pretty tough shift. I've always looked to those iron helmets, but now, perhaps none of the huddle does deserve more the honor of wearing one, in my opinion. I thought I'd be able to handle something like that with that much weight riding on me. These crimes were just committed 2 days ago at 5 p.m. on an open road over there. It was there that the victim, a young woman, was stabbed in the back with a knife. The lady was unconscious and being treated at the time, correct? I wouldn't exactly call her a lady, but yes, wait. It was a man with a gun in the middle of the street! But yes, until she wakes up, we won't even be able to identify her with certainty. That means we won't be able to request the victim's testimony. Here's the map of the scene. Take it if you will. Wow! You're gonna give this to us? It's our policy to give the culprit's attorney the minimum information necessary. I still haven't agreed to be Soseki's attorney, but okay. Since he was kind enough to offer, we should take it from him. Well, either way, at the time there was nobody at the scene other than the victim and the Japanese man. There's no debating on who the culprit is. I believe Sosuke himself said he didn't want to see anyone else around. But even if Sosuke Sosuke said he didn't see anyone, that doesn't mean the culprit couldn't have been anyone else. Unfortunately, that's exactly what it means. What? What? Exactly. After all, they already found a decisive witness who clearly saw the moment of the crime. Seriously? There's 2 of them to boot. What? A smoke, famous fog thinner than usual. Japanese picked up a bad day for murder. There's 2 witnesses? So who exactly are these witnesses? One of them is the most trustworthy witness in London? After all, he's constable of Scotland Yard. Oh shit. I was gonna say, wouldn't like a police would see it? This changes a lot of things. A constable just happened to be the witness of the incident taking place? It's not that unusual. That's why the constables are here after all. Do you think that maybe you could tell us more about this constable? Of course, you're free to ask anything you like. At tomorrow's trial, that is. Huh? The constable is absolutely going to be summoned by the court as a witness. Think of it as an exciting prospect for tomorrow. It doesn't seem like he's willing to let us meet the witness. The constable is the witness. As your legal assistant, I'm qualified to say that this is very disadvantageous to us. I don't think you have to be a legal assistant to find that out. Oh, that reminds me. What? The one who found and arrested the suspect was Sherlock Holmes, right? It was Holmes? What? You didn't know? What's going on? I saw his face darken. Hey, tell me, who did you hear that name from? Huh? Oh, it was Sosuke who told us. He said that Mr. Holmes stored in his room with a bunch of yard officers. With his great detectives. Don't be ridiculous. Eep! That lousy amateur, he's always poking his nose into everything. Huh? First, he catches winds of an incident for some bumbling idiot, he runs off to the crime scene. And seconds later, he's circling the area, spewing incoherent types of nonsense. And before you know it, he's suddenly solved the entire case. That's impressive to say the least. But isn't he the important asset to Scotland Yard? Nonsense. Eep. You know what this is? Yeah, it's the Strand magazine. It's the magazine that serialized the adventure of Sherlock Holmes. And that's a ridiculous excuse for a novel. All the detectives in Scotland Yard are just constantly being insulted by that great detective. In fact, they say that this might as well be that drive the base slanders of Sherlock Holmes. Well, I do admit it does occasionally come off as such. We're working hard as we can, but because of him, we're a laughing stock. He's a terrifying threat, not just to criminals, but the Yard as well. Are you sure you should be comparing Scotland Yard to criminals? Seems like a great detective and the police have a pretty complicated relationship. Fortnite is now canon in the Marvel Universe. I don't know how I feel about this. Me neither. That man is going on today's trial, right? You be defending him, I presume? Well, whatever the case is, there's one thing that I can say for sure. Here in London, no attorney worth his salt would take that man's case, because the prosecutor is Grim Reaper, right? Your client is beyond saving now. You'd only be wasting your time by defending him. But there is one thing that strikes me as peculiar. What is that? That old Deathbringer hasn't stood in court for a good few years. Is that really so? He's only prosecuted infamous criminals, and those who committed the most heinous crimes. Infamous? Heinous is heinous. His past must have marked all the men who would have been sentenced to the death penalty, but that's not the case this time. You're right. All these young women were stabbed, but her life remains intact. Dr. fucking Dope! I can't imagine why he would show up in a small fry case like this. I don't really agree with the phrase small fry. Maybe he got some specific reason to do so. Would you happen to have any idea what that reason may be? Mere man can't comprehend the inner working of the Grim Reaper's mind. You'll just have to wait for yourself to see what you get in court tomorrow. So I'll have to face the Grim Reaper again. Alright then, it looks like that's all the information we can get next from the Inspector. Naruhodo, may I have a moment? What is it, Susato? Your attitude changed all of a sudden. This is just my opinion, but... It's just my opinion, but I perhaps... Sorry, I was thinking something. But I think, perhaps at this point, we gotta see what kind of our old friend has to say. By old friend, do you mean Sherlock Holmes? Yes, indeed. I am unquestionably referring to the Sherlock Holmes. That twinkle in her eye is clearly excitement, as I recall. Didn't Soseki mention Mr. Holmes as well? Yes, he did. He did indeed. And with that in mind, no one could say he's related to this case as well. It's absolutely not my own self-indulgence, but we need to make... Oh, did I miss the text? We don't know about his... That's Baker Street! How'd you know about that? You see, it's written in this book. 221B Baker Street, the address of the world's most famous detective. I see. Shall I head over there then? Better get going first, as excitement rises to a fever pitch. Now let's go call for the coach. Looks like we're meeting again, sooner or later than I expected. Sherlock Holmes. Alright, give me 1 second. I'm gonna save. I need to use the bathroom. I need to pee! Alright, I'm back. Just had to go pee. Alright, I gotta wake myself up. I gotta make it to these to be continued. Ooh, look at that cutscene. Oh, it slowed down. Wrestle with Jimmy. So slow, so slow. Do we have any snacky snacks? Arigato gozaimashita. Head to the floor. Second floor. Good day. Whoa, this British guy knew how to speak Japanese. Thanks again. Wow, look at my sword. Is that a little too low? How am I even holding it?
It's attached to your belt, probably.
Her hair looks nice that way. So this is the office of Detective Home. Her hair looks better in the animation. Oh wow, what a nice balcony. That stuff scares me when they have flower pots just hanging off the window like that. I would never want to do that. Even though it's beautiful,
Why?
I wouldn't want to do that.
Think something terrible is gonna happen?
Yeah, it's dangerous. 19 February, 12:53 p.m. Holmes' room. Wow, that's his home. Looks like a fucking mess, dude. So this is Mr. Holmes' office. It certainly has a strange vibe to it. Wow. What do you think, Susato? Just like how it's written in the books. Susato? To think, so many mysterious cases must have been solved in this very room. Yeah, no doubt about it. She is. I never really read into this myself, so I can't really say for certain. The detective in pursuit of the villains hiding in the shadow of the foggy streets of the capital. Seriously romantic. Just gets your heart pounding, your blood racing. So our air conditioners from second story windows. That's scary. That's more scary, dude. It's even more scary, Kevin. I would never want to buy something like that.
Aren't motor freak accidents always done by that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I want to say air conditioners probably have more deaths than sharks.
One time.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah, of course, no doubt about it. Because of all of that. I like how they turn your back to you. I'm just a little overcome with emotions at the moment. Please pay me no mind. She's like in the corner, like panting real hard. She's like, oh my god, this is where you solve cases. Sheesh. So where is he? Looks like a good detective isn't home right now. Hello, anybody home? Oh, yes. Oh, it's her. Oh god, it's her. Why, hello there. Do you have any big quizzes for us? Oh, hello? Huh? Say, you wouldn't happen to be... Oopsies, hang just a second. I'll just go start brewing some tea for you. If I recall, this girl... Susato! You saw that girl just now, right? Wow, this... Oh my god. Wow. Oh, wow. Even the kings of Bohemia came to his request. Mr. Holmes' expertise. The king of Bohemia? You mean... Wait, who's the singer for Queen again? What's his name? Freddie Mercury! Hey. That's the joke.
Oh my god.
Sorry, that's really bad, I know. His Majesty okay. King William Gostrich Sigmund von Ostrich... What? How did I even say that? Never heard of him. Put down the adventures of Sherlock Holmes for a second and take a look at this. Oh, right, tea's done. Here, have some fresh baked biscuits too. Oh my god, her music. Ah, weren't you? I knew it. Looks like I wasn't mistaken at all. Oof, you were here all along. I don't need it. That's a flashback, who cares? Saying a big no-no, I was so excited to test out my new smoke launcher prototype for myself. Mama, I killed the man. Put a gun against his head. The girl appeared in the lobby after the trial. You know, this is my first time seeing an Asian lawyer. He's only just arrived in London and we only had to put to work. Tough, huh? Yeah, but it's not that big of a deal. Ooh, my tea is my own special blend. Go on, drink it up down the hatch. Alright, bottoms up. I don't think I've ever had tea like this before. Oh shit, it's poison! Spits it out.
You damn fool.
You damn fool!
Makes me stronger.
I fucking got you! Wow, how did I put in such a mellow, sweet aroma? Ooh, it's perfect success! I tried to blend the tweed with the whey and then woo that it helps to relieve the fatigue. Now is not the time to be tired out from your trip. They've got another big case tomorrow. What's more, you're defending your fellow Japanese guy. You gotta give it your all. How did you? By any chance, have you heard of us from Mr. Holmes? Wow, do you guys know Mr. Holmesies? Oh god, Holmesies. He's my Holmesies, you know what I'm saying? Got him! Actually, we traveled here on the same ship as Mr. Holmes. Wow, really? I had no idea. Holmesies just got back from traveling abroad. He's worried up and at it today. Wait a second. I'm positive this is the girl we met after yesterday's trials, but why does she know so much about us? You don't suppose that there's another one of those deductions, do you? Put that question aside. Just what in heaven's name is this girl doing here in Mr. Holmes' office? Oh, how rude am we? I haven't even introduced myself yet. Didn't she already have a name? Oh, she is Watson!
Oh, she is Watson!
I told you she had to be where I'm Iris Watson! How excited I am to make your acquaintance. Mr. Holmes and I live together. So is she the one who writes the books? Wow, Iris, was it right? Such a pretty... That is a pretty name. That is a pretty name. What's the matter, Susato? Wait, just one moment. Miss Watson? Does that mean... What's the deal? Susato got flustered up out of nowhere. What? That's me. And what about you guys? Oh, right, I'm Ryusuke Naruhodo, an attorney at law. Oh. My name is Susato Mikotoba, and I'm his legal assistant. Pleased to meet you. Suzui and Ryu. Got it. Susie. She calls him Susie. That's cute. Susie? Ryu? This is starting to get silly. But I have so many questions. I guess you should just start asking her. I agree. Oh, she's cute. I knew she was fucking Watson. I mean, she is Watson, not fucking Watson. Yeah. I believe we met her at the Old Bailey, right? Yep. Thanks for everything you did yesterday. Oh no. We should be the ones to thank you. I remember being held at gunpoint by that horrifying large weapon before you came by. My glasses. Oh, she's got it. Like this, right? She's got it.
She's got it.
I don't think we're ever gonna stop with that. 2319, she's got a gun, kid's got a gun. Speaking of yesterday, I seem to recall you're dragging Gina off somewhere. Gina? Yeah, that hot-headed witness from yesterday's trial. Oh, you mean Jean Ween? She's actually a pickpocket. Yeah, we got that, yeah. She's a weenie. We just can't go after other people's inventions. Inventions? She's talking about that huge, dangerous toy? Yep. So I had to chase after her to get the back. But if I knew something like this would happen, I would have put a self-destruct button on the function on it. I'm gonna just keep talking, you know, so I'm gonna go Google Gaga. This girl says some scary stuff. Anyways, after I brought the Jean back to my place, I wanted her to apologize to the technician that would help me make it. Technician? Of course, that's my Holmesies. Oh, so he's also an inventor? Did you just call him Holmesies? You know, Holmes and I live together in this flat. Wow, I never would have guessed that Mr. Holmes had a little girl. No, I'm not his daughter. Huh? Don't tell me she's older. I wouldn't even call my own father Holmesies. In
Brother, perhaps?
that case, then why are you two living together? Oh, no. I get it. He's into children.
No.
Well, when flats are just so expensive no matter where you look, you know. But it's way cheaper to go halfsies with a roommate instead. Roommates? Miss Iris, how old are you? I just turned 20 this year. Oh god, she's not legal.
Oh no.
Well, what about your father and mother? Are they not? Well, you sweet, I actually don't have anyone like that. Really? She must have a tough life. May I ask you something? Sure, you can ask me anything, Susie. I'm actually an avid fan of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, is that the Strand magazine? I read every issue, even back home in Japan. Them all shipped overseas. Wowsies! Even the Far Easterners were reading my story. Did you just say my stories? Obviously, Holmes, you just love telling me about the cases you swallowed. It's all turning out so fantastic. So I thought, why would I be the ones to hear about this tantalizing tale? Last night he was telling me about the case that he solved in the steamship. I'm actually in the middle of working on the manuscript for next month's issue. You've been working on the manuscripts? Yep. It's just between us though. I think I'll be calling it the Speckled Band. The Speckled Band? Those words sound very familiar. I always stretch the truth a bit here and there though. Like this time, I'm planning to just making the venomous Indian snake the quill puller's thread. If I recall, that was one of Mr. Holmes' crazy deductions. Just so you know, I didn't know that how snakes work. But you know, it's just a story, right? Might as well make it crazy and entertaining as possible. So that means all of the Sherlock Holmes stories that have been published in this magazine? Yep, I wrote every single one of them. That with this cutting-edge typewriter to boot. But I thought all these stories were written by John H. Watson, MD, weren't they? Jesus, shut up. I'm trying my best so that you would want to do it. Susato is having some trouble controlling the volume of her voice, since she's shrieking. Believe it or not, that name is actually referred to me. After all, I'm just Liteh WotSon. Liteh WotSon. Maybe I could do an UwU, little girl, and British voice all at the same time. Then how do you explain the MD part? Well, you see, I'm just an MD. What? At an age of 10? Yep, at the tender age of 20. Huh, that's
you just do the thing you did before.
Okay, that's impressive, to say the least. But, please excuse me, but Dr. Watson's a gentleman. I see what you mean. I just have to make some quick edits to my portrayal. What do you mean? She lifts up her skirt. I'm a wiener! I'm a dude! Oh. I'm a boy!
She's still 10 though!
I'm a boy!
I'm uncomfortable.
I mean, come on. Don't you think it would be a little bit weird if I didn't? What kind of great detective takes a little 10-year-old girl everywhere he goes? Well, I suppose you have a point there. Susato looks like she's just had her soul sucked out and trampled on. Aw, look at her. By the way, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. What is it, Ryu? How did you know I was an attorney who had just arrived in London? And even queerer, you said tomorrow would be another difficult trial. Oh, that's all? We'd love to hear the explanation for this if you please. Yeah, sure, I don't mind. Even though there's really so much to explain, honestly. Alright, so let's get this started. Oh, what is she gonna do? Come, one and all, to the Iris Watson Theatre of Logic and Reason. What? First of all, it was totally obvious from the start that Ryu was an attorney. After all, we first met in the defense lobby. What about the part where I just arrived in London? I can see your passport poking out of your pocket, stuffed there with a boat ticket. Oh, it was a safe guess to assume that you just arrived in Great Britain. Not to mention the fact that you went toe-to-toe against the prosecutor proves that you are new to British law. You mean Grim Reaper, of course. Susie Hans also has a red leftover mark from the stamp that she just received. The stamp was the guy, right? We met with the convict there for an interview. Oh! Did you know? They do that because they want to keep track of the visitors who come and go. I had no idea. By the way, they use a red stamp when a visitor wants to talk to a foreigner. Oh. So essentially, even though you two just finished a trial, you went to see a foreigner at the gal. Yet, the two of you aren't looking gloomy at all. Thus, whoever you meet must not have been the friend or family, right? This all leads to one conclusion. You must have taken a new craze, right? I see. What about your deduction that the trial would have been tomorrow? Holmesies came home yesterday talking about how he just solved another case. I arrested the screaming Japanese man. He told me, grinning like a schoolgirl in love. A Japanese man? He must have meant... He must have been talking about Soseki. And that must be a Japanese sword on your foot. And I think they call Susie's clothes a kimono. Obviously, the two of you came from Japan. From there, it would have been easy to see how I arrived to a conclusion would come to choose the Japanese guy. There would just be one more conclusion now. The two of you were totally came here to ask Holmesy for intel on the case. Wow. I would say she's smarter. She probably is the smarter one.
Mm-hmm.
The Japanese man's trial's tomorrow. That's what it says on the menu on the mantelpiece. You see? Holmesies has a bad habit of stabbing all his memos with knives. Wait, what? So I suppose that should be enough. And there you have it. The great deductions of the Iris WotSon has been revealed to you. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, did my deduction hit the mark? They were exactly right. Amazing. Iris's great deductions are really something else. It even had all of Mr. Holmes' little flourishes and plumps. Well, all I did was just mimic the real deal. Either way, it really makes things much easier if you're caught up on everything. Could you tell us more about the Japanese man? Incident with the Japanese man. You said that Mr. Holmes arrested him, right? Yep. Holmesy actually had to return from a trip abroad, but detective was waiting for him at the station, so they dragged him in as soon as he arrived. Wow, the great detective sure is popular. Apparently, there were suspicious sightings and a hunchback middle-aged Japanese man. This man was run away from the Brighty Road where the woman had been stabbed. Wait. Okay, never mind. Suspicious hunchback, a middle-aged man? I'm sure that must have been Soseki. Soseki claimed that there was no one else at the scene, though. It looks like he didn't see the witness. Holmesies used a classic deduction to figure out the guy's address. The police went straight to his flat near the crime scene. And then they found the suspect hunchback, middle-aged man, trembling in fear. Wait, wasn't he eating bread? Well, I guess this great deduction did get something right. Of course they do, he's the great detective. But if that incident happened only 2 days ago, why is the trial scheduled for tomorrow? That's way too soon, no matter the case may be. You have a point. It doesn't seem like they're giving the investigators much time to work. According to Holmesies, it's because there's so much crime in the city. What? Scotland Yard's been doing its best to keep up, but they can't. But even they're having trouble to keep up. Oh, the gas from the fucking fuel! Sorry, I'm gonna scream. Okay.
Larry, shut up.
I'm trying to wake myself up.
Shut up, I don't care.
Shut
You're gonna get rid of my lease.
Is that so? I've had no idea. So they just don't have and just trying to investigate and hold a trial for every single crime. They're short-staffed, underfunded, and usually the most suspicious guy is the criminal anyways. That's horrible. So this is the fruits of Pinnacle of Law. The truth can be so bitter. Yeah, it looks that way. But if that's the case, then I'm even more worried about Soseki. Thank you for answering all of our questions, Iris. We've learned a lot from you. You're so very welcome. I had fun too. By the way, Iris, where's Mr. Holmes right now? As you guess, we wanted to ask him about the case. Oh, Holmes, Louise. I think he might be still in the middle of investigating a case. Would that be Soseki's case? Soseki, was it? He said he was going to go to that guy's flat. Wait a minute. If you head there, I bet you'll find him. Where might this place be, Miss Iris? I think the policemen are still investigating the crime scene, but there is an inspector by the name of Toby on the scene. Ah, yeah, I remember. There was a Toby. I knew it. Well then, will you give this to Toby for me? If you do, I'm sure he'll spill the beans. What? What are beans? He's like, what? I don't think we had beans in Japan.
What is he spilling?
She's like, naruhodo, we had soybeans, you fucking idiot. He's like, oh! Yeah. Wait, isn't miso beans? No, miso is made out... No, it's made out of beans. Yeah, it's a paste made from soybeans. Yeah, that's what miso is. 5 shillings and a message card, I believe. 5 shillings. Is that money? So, you'll answer anything the guy in the dark jacket asks, right? And Inspector Garrison would just say okay to anything we want? Understood. Thank you so much for this, Iris. She is a cutie, though. Look at that steampunk goth dress, yo. Now, to get back to writing the manuscript of the Speckled Brand, I prepared my most lovely, splendid tea for you. Please come again and visit us sometime. Thank you, Iris. With that, let's return to the crime scene once more. She's like a happy-go-lucky Maya. Maya cries a lot. Yeah. This card, along with 1 silver coin, can influence the entirety of Scotland Yard. We return to the crime scene with the world's heaviest coin in hand. That looks like a 50-cent coin. To be continued, really? Just like that? Huh. Well, I did say I was gonna stop at the to be continued, but it's really short.
Next one's gonna be an investigation.
Yeah, I guess. So if that's the case, I thought it would be at least 2 to 3 hours, but I guess we can just... What time is it? That's too early. I guess we could just play Mario 64. Right?